Hey folks, it's Nathan here from What Were They Thinking? And just want to let you guys all know all of our past catalog, except for Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park and Hollywood Homicide, are now all up on Podbean. You can download at your leisure, and they all have fantastic audio. So that's Podbean. What Were They Thinking? Just search us out. Your one-stop shop for terrible movie reviews. Now, on with this week's episode.
Interior office building, San Francisco, 1999.
Fred!
What is it, Bill?
There's this terrible movie, I hear. You put it in, and you watch it, and 2 hours later, you die of... You know what, Brendan? No,
What?
I'm not. No,
Nathan, what's going
no,
on?
I'm not doing it. No, I
do you
can't
mean?
even be bothered to put it forth like a decent Ring reference or anything where we die of boredom. This movie does not deserve our effort. I am not doing this for Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. No, fuck this movie.
We watched Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. I am Brendan,
I'm Nathan.
and we have a special guest,
Yes.
returning special guest, Joshua Kotsabasakis.
Hey guys,
Welcome.
thanks for having me. Really excited. I watched Rollerball and I've written all my notes down, and I think I'm really prepared for this one.
All right.
You son of a bitch.
So
This
is our second foray into the Marvel movie madness.
Oh, and I should note that this one was suggested by Matt Jennings, so a big fuck you.
This movie. Oh.
You vicious bastard!
You blew it up!
Damn it all. Damn it all to hell.
This is the movie that breaks us.
Okay. I would rather watch Garbage Pail Kids.
I would rather watch a double feature of Shark Boy and Lava Girl and Garbage Pail Kids,
Oof, that's saying something.
preceded by Hired Part 2.
That's a good MSTK 3 reference. Or MST3K.
Yeah, so if those of you who haven't seen that new MST3K, get on that.
Yeah, on Netflix. It's awesome. Way better than this movie.
Oh my god.
Let's just watch that
Reptilicus,
instead.
Reptilicus on its own is way better than this movie.
Yeah. All right, let's you know what? Sooner begun, we're sooner done. Let's just get to it.
I do have one bit of background I wanted to bring up.
All right.
So obviously, this is a movie where David Hasselhoff is playing Nick Fury.
Yep.
Now that when we posted this episode that it was coming up, most comments were I didn't know this existed, because people, when they think Nick Fury, obviously for the movies, Samuel L. Jackson, who I believe Josh can back me up on this, or you both can back me up on this. The character was redesigned after Sam Jackson, right?
Before, actually.
Well, no, I don't mean after he portrayed the role, but it was redesigned with him in mind, right?
I can't speak to that.
I don't think I follow the question.
They what he's saying is they redesigned the character in the comic
comics
books to be more in line for a Samuel L. Jackson type person to actually play them someday.
Like he inspired the design of the character, like the redesign of the character in the comic books.
True.
Okay.
There's two Marvel universes at the time. There was the regular Marvel universe and the Ultimate Marvel universe. They, in the Ultimate Marvel universe, really liked Sam Jackson and made their Nick Fury after Sam Jackson. And then they do the movies and they're like, let's just get Sam Jackson to play Nick Fury. And then, after the movies were so big,
Oh my shit.
they redesigned the regular Marvel Universe Nick Fury as Sam Jackson.
With all the charisma of Hulk Hogan, I thank you. But okay, so
Shane
there
McMahon
is
was in Rollerball.
talking about rollerball.
Put those goddamn notes away. So, okay. So there's so that being said, I found an interview with David Hasselhoff right around the time of the Avengers, I believe. And he was talking about the role. What?
He was a bastard in that interview.
He was talking about the role he, of course, immortalized. And he said, Stan Lee put me in this movie. He told me on the set, "You're the ultimate Nick Fury." He gave me the greatest compliment ever. And then he says about Sam Jackson, he says, "Well, I feel like he's a dear friend," which is bullshit. but
Sam Jackson, he's like,
who?
The drunk guy?
With the cheeseburger? Don't they love him in Germany?
He says, Sam Jackson was great, but he wasn't the consummate Nick Fury the way he was written. And then Sam Jackson responded, actually, because somebody brought it up in an interview that David Hasselhoff had kind of hassled him. And he said, they said, "How did you prepare for the role?" And he said, "Well, I watched David Hasselhoff and decided I was not going to do any of that."
Good choice.
Listen, I love Stan Lee. He is one of my childhood heroes and heroes in adulthood. I saw him at Fan Expo Toronto last year, and he did a Q&A, and he's admitted he loves all Marvel portrayals in cartoon, movie, comic books. He loves everything they do
because it makes
he
him
wants
money.
A paycheck.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's gonna endorse a David Hasselhoff Nick Fury movie.
You know what I thought you were going to say? When you said Fan Expo, I thought you were going to say he was at Fan Access, like WrestleMania Fan Access. He's there preparing.
Stan Lee.
Well, he's a cameo and everything. But...
Yeah.
No, man, he's preparing for his WrestleMania battle. Remember we mentioned that in the Captain America.
I'm wrestling the Undertaker, and I'm going over. Excelsior, true believer.
He's going up against that other comic book guy. What's
Kirby.
that guy?
Jack Kirby.
Jack the King Kirby.
Oh
versus
shit! Better
Stan
King than
Lee.
Jimmy.
All right.
Anyway,
we just.
so we open with Baywatch
Canada.
credits.
It's the only other name other than Hasselhoff in the opening credits that caught my eye.
Ron Canada.
Ron Canada.
And then they were in the
did you
Yukon.
the name
like
of
I
the
felt like
editor?
this was made up.
This movie was edited by Drake Sillyman.
I noticed that too.
Okay, that makes sense.
Oh, so we open with Wolfgang von Strucker in some sort of chamber. I guess he's already been killed.
Yeah, he's frozen.
End of movie.
This movie. Yeah. So rollerball. So for right off the bat, this movie almost starts like a sequel, because wouldn't you want, if you're doing the first Nick Fury movie, wouldn't you want the most like well-known villain as the actual villain?
Yeah, I mean you get
because
anybody.
This has Captain America. This is Captain America syndrome, where you're like, oh man, Red Skull, cool. Oh, it's basically going to be his daughter.
Yeah, and that's what we get here too. Yeah, it's Strucker's daughter.
What is it with Marvel villains in shitty Marvel movies that are like, would you be a deer? And
I can't wait for the next Josh Trank Fantastic Four movie where we get Dr. Doom Jr.
Doctor Nurse Doom.
Nurse Doom. Yeah.
Doomalina.
Doomalina. Yes. Make it happen.
Well,
this is also written by David Goyer, by the way.
I've made a note. One of the writers of Batman Begins and The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises
is responsible for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ghost Rider, which makes more sense.
That makes a little more sense.
Well, let's just say
Ghost Rider or Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance?
Spirit of Vengeance, I think.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense.
I made a note here. I was like, make sure you talk about Dave Goyer writing this. He's clearly not the good writer of Batman. Like he's
David Goyer, to me, is the guy that was like, oh man, could we put like a line where he's like, rock and roll forever? The other guy's like,
That's what I
yeah,
was
sure,
gonna
just
say.
go back to sleep, David.
He's clearly not the writer who wrote
Dialogue.
It's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me. He's not that Batman writer.
You know what he wrote? He wrote interior building.
He's not that Batman. He's not the Batman writer that wrote Why Do We Fall, Bruce? So we can learn to pick ourselves up. He's the guy that wrote Let's Rock and Let's Roll.
That actor is magnificent.
He
always
doesn't
shows up-
phone it in. He goes for it, I'll tell you that.
I love when he shows. So they're looking at Wolfgang von Strucker, and this guy walks up and he says, "Last of the great global boogeyman.
Oh, that guy enunciated everything.
Ours not to reason why." And then boom, shot.
When he gets shot, he doesn't like keel over. He doesn't try to like fight back. He just gives him this mildly inconvenienced look. It's like, oh, you dick, you shot me. Ow.
Yeah, and like
Dr. Evil in
this is the thing too.
The Spy Who Shagged Me. You shot me, you a-hole.
That's the look he gives. Yes.
This is the thing too. Him getting this is another reason why this feels like it should be like the second one, because this guy we've met for like what 10 seconds,
Yeah.
and there's like, and he's doing this triumphant, like Josh said, let us rock and let us roll.
He would have got to let us maybe rock before he was gunned down, as
And he-
Josh pointed out before we went on.
He manages to shoot like 5 of them.
I know.
I said earlier, if it was real life, it would have been, let us rock.
Yeah, he wouldn't have got that line out. So this is Hydra. We do get a Hydra in here.
Yeah, we should actually explain what happened in this scene.
They Hydra breaks into this super secret compound and they steal Strucker's body.
Mm-hmm.
And his they kill like one of Fury's buddies.
Which this guy also thinks that a blonde lady is Nick Fury.
I don't think he was that dumb.
I don't know, man. He looks right at her and says, "Hey, Nick, take care of her."
She takes it off and the blonde hair flows everywhere.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, I thought you were someone else.
I thought you were just wearing lipstick again.
When they get to the video later, she's like, he knows that they're watching us, and come and get me, Nick Fury, or some garbage, I don't know.
That was a
No,
rewrite.
he definitely thought that was Nick Fury.
I like to imagine that he
Supple,
thought it was
curvy
Nick.
hips and lady boobs.
Nick, I haven't seen you in a while. You look hot.
Well, 7 years in the Yukon will do that to you.
Okay, we go to the Hoff.
The Hoff.
What
In
in
the
the hell? What in the hell is he doing?
I'm assuming he's mining for gold because he's in the Yukon.
Here's my note. This is all the people listening that haven't seen this movie have to know about this scene. My note is inexplicably pickaxing in the Yukon? ? That's all I had.
I went a little further. He was inexplicably pickaxing, which is some pretty cardio-intensive work when you do it while he's smoking a cigar.
Mm-hmm.
So I know when I do a lot of cardio, like I do a lot of cardio all the time, I smoke heavily while doing it. Because that helps a lot. Fuck this movie.
It's like,
oh my God, this movie.
Do you ever go to those old Legends of Hockey games that they have at like the LBR?
Yeah, I went to the Bruins one a few years ago.
I volunteered at one in Moncton, and you'd have, like, I don't know, one of these old 70s hockey players. They'd do a shift and get off and go for a smoke break before their next shift. It's like, I don't even know. First of all, I don't know how you're doing this at like age 70. Then you just skated around a whole rink, and now you're puffing on a cigarette before your shift.
Yeah.
The whole thing with the Hoff smoking in this movie, he smokes like He's like fighting guys, shooting at people. At one point, he's dying of poison, and he's smoking a cigar.
It's like they said, read the comics, and he's like, oh, the cigar is a bit of business that he does. I'm going to do that in every shot.
Cigar and eye patch, I nailed it.
The best, too, is like he's very much portrays himself as anti-establishment throughout the movie. He's a real man's man that does his own thing. And he gets on the helicarrier, and he's smoking a cigar, and...
Oh, the super awesome helicarrier?
And then the one guy in the suit is like, and put that cigar out. And he's like, oh, all right. And he takes it, completely buries any thought of him being his own man.
We also meet the biggest wiener in the whole movie, and that's Pierce.
Oh. Pierce is the toughest man in the world, and I'll tell you why. Because the second we see him, friggin' Fury, he boots him in the chest and then socks someone in the jaw, and he completely no-sells it. Oh, he hip-tossed the guy, too.
Yeah, he's like, oh, sir, I work for S.H.I.E.L.D.
And he's like, oh, hey, jolly good, or whatever.
I'm British.
Well, I mean, and again, Sid Vicious, to me, it was like Sid Vicious fighting a cruiserweight, because Hoff doesn't move, and the other guy just does everything. Hey, you know what, though? If S.H.I.E.L.D. wants him to do something, you can tell him to shove it up their collective end zones.
End zones.
And you can't teach that.
End zones.
I thought he said Enzos.
No, end zones.
What the hell is an Enzo?
Brendan, you idiot. That wouldn't make any sense if he said Enzos.
You're right. A 1998 film referring to Enzo Amore wouldn't make any sense.
We need to get sports guys on these things more often.
You know what, Josh? You're an end zone.
You used it in context there, I'll say, Brendan.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
I called you a butthole.
And I do it again!
They take the Hoff, and we meet...
before they take him, though.
We meet the femme fatale, whatever her name is.
I wrote dramatic turn when he does that thing where I can't remember the line, but they're like... He's like, I'm not coming.
Is that what he said?
Like, the president?
Yeah, they got like... But they have Wolfgang Strucker. And he turns around and he goes, well, I guess they found me.
No. Strucker wanted to send a message.
That's right.
Looks like I heard it.
And then he gets on the plane and leaves.
Another line I really like here is when we meet Val, and he says, "Oh, don't mess with her, kid. She's an old hand at the sexpionage game."
I'm more used to the more modern Nick Fury from obviously all the MCU movies and Ultimate Spider-Man the cartoon and any other incarnation after Sam Jackson. Was Nick Fury ever such a lecherous scumbag?
Yeah, in that one movie with David Hasselhoff.
Other than,
he was designed to be almost like Marvel's answer to James Bond.
Okay.
Back in the late 60s when Jim Steranko did the book, he was very much he was James Bond essentially. But no, he wasn't.
He was supposed to be suave.
Was kind of suave, yeah. He was a bit of a man's man. He had the cigar in the book and everything, but...
Because he does not come off as suave. He comes off as a date rapist.
Hey, Nathan.
What?
Nathan, just relax, okay? He's just blowing smoke up your hoo-ha.
The lines and the... I know it's for TV, so, I mean, I was like, okay, I gotta give this movie a break in some regard. The visuals for the helicarrier are awful, but, I mean, 1990s Fox, yeah. That's fine. And they can't do a whole lot of swearing, because, again, network television.
Hoo-ha.
But tell me this, does S.H.I.E.L.D. have a large security budget? Because apparently you can just shoot it.
Well, that was another point of contention for me. When they get on the elevator, and they're trying to use it, and it won't go anywhere because it can't scan both retinas on Nick Fury, because he's only got one eye.
I only got one.
update your databases, you jerk, or something like that.
Update your software. Wolfgang took my eye.
And it won't go anywhere because he's smoking. So it's making all this noise, and Pierce is trying to get it to work, and he's trying to use the override code, and then the female spy, what's her name?
Valentina.
Andrea.
Okay, no, that's the daughter. Valentina something.
Oh, it's
Val.
like, I think he just calls her Val.
Yeah, we'll just go with that.
Contessa Valentina. I don't know.
Yeah, if I start calling her Conti, it's gonna get bad. So we're gonna call her Val.
Lisa Renna.
So, anyways, Pierce and Val are trying to get the thing working, and he's like, "Here, I'll fix it," and he just starts blasting away at the control panel. They're in a relatively secure environment. You would think that the walls would be fairly bulletproof. I don't think I would start firing off a handgun willy-nilly. I mean, the ricochets alone could kill everybody in the entire elevator.
Mm-hmm.
But the elevator doesn't do that. The elevator just starts going.
Yeah, so again, weird security system. We also meet Kate, who doesn't like the term mind reader. She prefers the term ESPer.
Which ESPer.
That's not a term.
Nope. And it sounds like, you're going to the bathroom.
To do ES.
They also
Yeah.
made a boob implant joke. Which
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she had her...
it enhances my...
No, she had her abilities enhanced through implants.
through
And then he
And he
stares
checks
at her
boobs.
tits.
Yeah.
And she goes, not those implants.
And that's where I was first like, was Nick Fury like a lech? Like he's an absolute horrible, booby grabbing type of person? Because he doesn't come across that way in the movies. New ones.
And then when he does that, he's like, you know what I was thinking? And she's like, I don't need ESP for that.
Yep.
Okay, I am convinced that the only reason they make her a mind reader is that so she can have all those lines where she's like, well, I don't need ESP to know that you guys need each other, and et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, because she...
That's pretty much all her...
Well, she does
gig,
like 2 Undertaker things. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's right. Wait, did Undertaker read minds?
Well, no, she does the rolling in the eyes in the back of the head thing.
Oh, yes.
Hey, Teddy, buckle up. That was actually a line from the movie, too, everyone.
Okay. We get to meet Dum Dum Dugan, who is just some office schlep.
Again, my only note on Dum Dum Dugan. Dum Dum Dugan is all wrong.
Yep. Dum Dum Dugan is all wrong.
Oh, is
another
that
thing, too, right
the
before we
villainous
saw-
director guy?
What's that?
Is that the
yes,
villainous...
before we meet the director, the one who is questionably Irish.
The guy, too, that told him to put the cigar out, he said something like, well, he ran off to the wilds. Wasn't he in Yukon?
Yes, the Wilds, the Yukon, yes.
I've got clients in the Yukon. It's actually pretty normal for the most part.
And we get the laboratory
cities.
set that looks like something out of an Ed Wood film.
You know what I like
Headed
about
by
this? We're
third-rate
skipping
Lawrence
through this movie.
Fishburne. Sorry.
I really like this. We're really skipping through this movie.
Oh, man,
Yes.
I
then it ended,
do not want to
and then that's the
linger
end of the
on
show.
anything.
I just have one question for you, Brendan.
Yeah?
We're really thinking, end, done. We're
yeah.
done talking about it. Yeah, no, we go into the lab, and this is where we meet the Hasselhoff.
Yeah. Can we call the scientist Lawrence Fishburne?
No, it's Bill. Isn't it Bill Mummy or something like that? I can't remember the guy's
Is it?
name. I don't
Which
know.
no, the dude who like comes up and he's like, I haven't seen you in forever.
Yeah,
Here's
that's
a
the
gun.
guy. I'm just trying to. Oh, I'm gonna look him up right now. Keep talking.
So
You know,
I mean-
my Hasselhoff joke.
I mean the African American fella.
Yeah,
Is that Bill Mooney? Is that what you said?
I'm looking him up right now.
Pretty sure it is. Pretty sure it's legitimately.
Essentially, what happened is the Hoff sees him, and it's Predator all over again. Dylan, you son of a bitch!
Wait, is this where Hasselhoff meets Hasselhoff 2?
That's what I said. He's a Hasselhoff because there's only half of him there.
Hey, do you know what's
Took me 3 tries to get that joke across.
Do you know what's interesting about the LMD too, the life model decoy?
What?
It was in better shape than Hasselhoff.
I also got a great visual when they said he's retractable for travel, and I said, so you could put him in your pocket.
I didn't get that line. Like I heard that line and I was like, I can't tell if they're joking or not.
Oh my god! That was Ron Canada.
Ron Canada as Lawrence Fishburne?
Ron Canada is, yes, he's the dollar store Lawrence Fishburne.
Ron Canada.
Well, that makes sense.
Hey, he was in Wedding Crashers. Hey, let's talk about Wedding Crashers.
What a great movie. I like that movie.
Yeah, he was also in National Treasures and
Ted 2. He played Judge.
All right.
You know what? National Treasure, better movie. National Treasure 2, better movie. Wicker Man, better movie.
He played Randolph in Wedding Crashers.
So don't recall that particular role.
So, I had another question. Like they were able to build a Hasselhoff and all these other awesome gadgets, including contact lenses that can serve as digital cameras to videotape, because that's how we get the Hasselhoff gets to see Van Strucker's daughter's face for the first time. They couldn't build him another eye, like another eye that he could use. Like all these technological advances, and they couldn't build him like a camera eye, like a Terminator eye or something, like $6 Million Man.
Well, didn't he have like an exploding eye?
Yes, but that's non-functional.
I guess so.
Because it would it would have helped with a lot of scenes that came up later in the movie where he's driving and flying and then driving again. He has one eye, he has no depth perception, he has no business doing either of those things.
Listen, if Stevie Wonder can't get his eyesight fixed, no one can.
Again, we're not operating under the the realities of our world. We're operating under the realities of the Marvel universe.
Wait, S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't a real thing?
No, Brendan, stop watching the skies.
It's out there.
So we get to see
Pocket Hop.
Well, we get to see Von Strucker's daughter and his son, who when I saw him, I was like, "Is that Raven?"
Is it? Who did you say?
Raven.
That's exactly what I said. As soon as we saw him on the screen, yeah. I was like, oh, I don't know why, because he doesn't look like this character that he portrayed, but I said, Johnny Polo?
There you go. Well, Scott Levy is Scott Levy. There you go.
I just have this scene written as science, blah, blah.
Yeah, so then we actually get to go to see what Von Strucker's daughter's up to, with the Totenkopf, or the Death Head.
And I'm just going to ask you right now, we've discussed this on a number of other movies, is she fucking her brother?
There's a possibility. There's a lot of incestuous tones that happen in this movie, even at the end.
I asked you about Iron Fist earlier.
Yeah.
I thought that about Iron Fist.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Meachums.
Yeah. Yep.
But, like, at first I forgot they were supposed to be brother and sister, and I was like, oh, they're like this weird, like, evil couple. And then he said,
was her brother the guy that looked like he was from Interview with the Vampire?
Yeah, the real pale blonde dude.
This is what I mean when I said earlier I have no idea what the hell's going on in this movie. I just figured out now that was her brother.
Josh literally messaged us half an hour before we went on and said, I don't know what's happening.
Which is actually an apt review for this movie.
So this is where, okay, so getting down to back to the plot.
This is where we find out that the Death's Head virus was to be used as a chemical weapon, which does prove that Hitler did use chemical weapons. Suck it, Sean Spicer.
Shit, you're calling out the big guns.
Can we also point out the irony that David Hasselhoff in this movie fought the Germans.
And they still love him.
So yeah, we learned about the chemical weapon, the Death Side virus that Andrea von Strucker, which is like the least evil sounding name ever.
No,
Andrea.
It sounds like a supermodel name or something.
Yeah, they're
and she
like,
has
oh,
the weirdest video conference.
Yeah, that's what's it. And the guy from Cairo is like, you woke me up.
Yeah. I don't think the time zone difference between Germany, where she's supposed to be, and Cairo is that big.
13 hours, I believe.
I don't know.
But she basically has this conference and like shoots the guy from London to make a point that she's like, she has power or something.
Yeah, and she just blows the dude away.
And the best part is she has him like on a chair, and you think like, oh, what kind of weird, messed up shit is she gonna do? Oh, she just shoots him like 3 times.
No, she shoots him once. She hits him one time out of the 4 shots she takes.
There is no time difference between Germany and Cairo.
None whatsoever.
Like, I just Googled it.
She didn't wake him up at all,
now.
unless he was sleeping in the afternoon.
Right now, 1:13 a.m. Sunday in Germany, 1:13 a.m. Sunday in Cairo. There is no time difference between Germany and Cairo.
Maybe she conducts all her business at 3:30 in the morning, and that's normal for her.
Also, did you guys notice that when she shot the guy strapped to the chair, she closed her eyes during a couple of the shots?
That's why she only hit him one time.
Like her, a real trained assassin.
Yeah.
The actress was clearly scared by the blanks going off.
She's like, oh my god, did you get it? Yeah, we're good.
Moving on. Greatest weapon ever created.
Yeah.
Okay, can we just mention the accents? Holy shit.
Well, they go to Berlin.
I have a note here after. I just like reading my notes because I have a note here during
they keep me safe. I love my notes.
Well, because I think my notes, they're all done in point form, so for the people listening, it really conveys the movie.
And it helps us skip along quite nicely.
Yeah. So my note here during this scene is literally bullet point, WTF is happening.
I like how you had to say bullet point.
Anyway.
No, he spelled out the words bullet point right
Josh.
next to a bullet point.
Yeah. He wrote the word bullet point. Okay.
Right next to a bullet point, yeah.
So bullet point is what you should have said.
So we get to Berlin, and this is one of the first times we see the Hoff driving.
What were they thinking?
Yeah, that's it, we're done! Yay, shut it off now.
Yeah, he's driving. Yeah, I didn't even think of this until you pointed it out before we started recording.
There's several times that he's operating machinery, and I don't know. Maybe it's because I know people who only have one eye and they're not allowed to drive.
You do?
Yes. And they're not allowed to drive because they have no depth perception, because if you cover up one eye, you can see everything fine, but you can't tell how far away something is.
Josh, I love your mystified reaction at that.
Not that I know somebody who only has one. I'm a complex person.
His name is
Josh.
Peter Falk.
That's why he never drove anywhere.
You do?
I did.
Just one more thing.
Okay, so Berlin. Is this where they go to that stupid art museum?
Yes, and they rendezvous with the British girl, and they speak in the fish swims at midnight codes.
Yeah, and then Hoff just decides to keep it going.
They spoke in codes? What did I miss?
No, were they quoting things? And they have not,
but why did Hoff keep it going?
I wrote, why are they speaking in quotes?
Like, they end it, and then he's like, blah, 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 and she's like, oh, is that part of the recognition code? He's like, no, I just wanted to say it.
Yeah, I think that was a Hoff choice.
He's like, guys, I think I would be really deep in this scene.
Yeah. But they run away from Hydra, and they find into the metro or subway of Germany, and they run through a hollow wall. And I don't mean a wall that's hollow, I mean it's a hologram.
Also, when they're going through the subway, here's where I think this is right around when I texted you guys, and I was like, I don't know what's happening. They get to the subway, And I'm like, okay, so he met someone he knows, all right, she's going to help him out. And then they get to the subway, and there's just people shooting at them. I felt like I missed an entire scene.
No, he didn't.
This is also when the ESPer reads that Nazi's stock footage dreams.
Yeah, she does the whole Undertaker thing where she puts her hands on his head, but then her eyes like roll in the back of her head. And I think that the only reason why this actress got that gig is because she had that particular talent.
Straight up, that first shot that you see of the house blowing up, I know this is going to sound nerdy, it's stock footage from that Armageddon like WWE pay-per-view.
No, it's stock footage, period. It's an atomic test, and that piece of footage has been around since one of the first atomic tests.
They use stock sound, too.
No.
I know this because the alarm that went off is the alarm I wake up to every day.
The next thing you're going to tell me is that they used ADR in this movie.
If they did, they should have got people who could do competent accents.
Okay, I don't know.
A thing here, The Ring. I don't know why.
Well, I was just gonna ask you. I also had a confusing note in this part.
Okay.
Well, okay, I just wrote the quote when she says to him, okay, I don't know if this is the meetup. Okay, the girl that meets up with them ends up being Andrea.
Yes.
Obviously. But
yes.
What is this? Is this her that says, "Is it true what women say about you?" Yeah, because that's what she's trying to like seduce him.
Yes.
So she says, "Is it true what women say about you?" I wrote that, and then I wrote his response. Well, that depends on whether you're talking to one of my ex-wives or my mother. And then I just wrote cheeseburger.
Well, you're probably thinking about the Hoff when he had that awesome cheeseburger when he was talking.
When she's disguised too, Andrea is the
British
blonde girl.
Yeah.
She was disguised with spray paint.
She took the disguise off, and I was like, isn't she the same person?
I think I know why I have The Ring here, is because she kissed him, and now he's going to die in like a week. That was it.
48 hours.
Was it 48 hours? Anyway.
Yeah, it's 2 days.
Yeah, she
it would be great if it was like...
She's sitting on top of him, and she could have just put a knife to his throat, and that would have been it.
I want to see if you're going to undo my plans.
Andrea von Strucker is apparently a Colombian tree frog.
Yes.
Because he is poisoned with Colombian tree frog venom. Why would she just have that on hand?
Water hole.
How long are like Kermit bites me the big one or some business? I'm like, the one-liners in this movie are just so bad.
Hey, she played Mortal Kombat, Sonya Blade.
What? Which one?
The bad one.
Okay.
Too bad you will die.
Yeah, not the first one. Okay.
So Hoff is poisoned.
Yay.
And they say, "Oh no, there's absolutely nothing ever in the whole wide world ever that would ever fix you ever. Oh, unless you get her blood."
Yeah.
And he says, "I'll suck it from her neck."
Though,
wait.
Which brings us to Blade in 1998.
And we're going to talk about that now, because it was superiorly better.
Also
wait a second.
Written by David S. Goyer.
His line is, "I'm going to suck it from that vampire's neck." I think he fucked that up.
Because I think it should have been Viper, shouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. Well, no, he's calling her a vampire, but he's saying, "I'm going to suck it from her neck."
Yeah, when you say he screwed up that line... he probably did. He was probably supposed to say Viper, and he said vampire, and they're like, let's just leave it in there. I really don't want to deal with David Hasselhoff anymore.
It's almost
they're like,
speaking of not wanting to deal with David Hasselhoff, and back to David S. Goyer, which, by the way, I hate that. When people's like, oh, my middle name letter is in my name also. David S. Goyer.
I've seen it before, and it's usually only to differentiate. Like Adam Goldberg, the actor, versus Adam F. Goldberg is the guy who produces The Goldbergs and Imaginary Mary. He's
and
a
Bill
producer.
Goldberg.
What's that?
And
Bill Goldberg, yes. But they're two different people. So that's fine.
And like Lance T. Storm.
But
the T stands for thunder.
I don't know any other David Goyers that would be...
Yeah, I don't know of any David Goyers except for the ones who write bad comic book movies. But I have a quote written here about Hasselhoff. I was unenthused about Hasselhoff's involvement, but he ended up being the best part. He got the joke. The script was written as very tongue-in-cheek, and he understood that. I call bullshit. I think... Here's the thing. I was reading up about this Goyer fella.
Yeah.
And he's very into comic books, right? And he always wanted to work on comic books, work on comic book movies, etc., etc. I think he took this seriously. Because if you look at his other movies, like Blade and Batman,
all the Batman movies,
and so on and so on, they're done they're well done, and they're done seriously. So I have a hard time believing that he did this as tongue-in-cheek, and that Hasselhoff got the joke. You know what I mean? Like, there was no joke to be had. It was just bad, and he was worse.
Yep.
Wait, you didn't think The Dark Knight was tongue-in-cheek?
So we get all this chunk of stuff that happens in the story, and then we have a very Shield 90210 type moment between the Hoff and Val that just goes on for ages.
Are you talking about the romance stuff?
Yes.
Also, I was watching.
Just kill me. Just kill me.
My girlfriend was coming in and out of the room. But by the way, I told this to Nathan earlier. My girlfriend was coming into the room. She sat down and watched a couple minutes of this, and she goes, "This is the worst Saturday ever."
This is the worst what?
Saturday ever. Which, again, tells the people listening all you need to know about this movie.
Yes.
But anyway, she comes in and she goes, "Hey, isn't that girl
2
from..."
minutes of this film ruined her entire day.
Yep.
She goes... So they're watching it, and Lisa Rinna's Val character comes on. And she goes, "Isn't that girl that does whatever it is, Melrose Place 90210?" I was like, "Yeah."
Guys,
and,
I don't know. Did you guys watch this in one sitting?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
I need closure on this, though, Brendan. Hold on so I can finish
Sorry.
your story, Josh.
So he was like, "Hey, isn't that the girl from those shows?" And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "Oh, I don't like her." And I said, "I thought she was hot in high school." And Jamie goes, "Ew, why?" And I said, "Well, looking at the hair right now, I don't get it. Like I could not stop looking at her hair. Like, did you see that? It was like the slick back mullet looking thing."
No. And yes, to answer your question, Brendan, I watched this all in one sitting.
Okay, I don't know how you guys... It took me 5 sittings.
Yeah, and you know what? I did this one sober.
Oh!
I did not have a nip of gin at all while watching this movie.
This note says exposition.
That's the 90210 moment. And then we have the inspection time. And then, we get Gangsta Fury. He comes out looking like Hoff Pliskin.
Oh my god.
And a robot or like a clone gets on the helicarrier and he shoots them. But he's using his shotgun and he's holding it sideways like a gangster, which gives you no control and no aim at all.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of Stan Lee's cameo?
What?
I'm just kidding.
Okay, good.
Fuck!
I thought I had missed something.
You just see him vomiting in the background.
No, I support you, David.
You are the ultimate Nick Fury.
Excelsior.
What a great line!
But the clone gives the Strucker's message, and her head is rotating during the hologram.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Which leads me to ask, was she on a pedestal rotating, or was the camera rotating around her when they shot that?
We will have to ask David S. Goyer.
Get him on the line there, Josh.
Actually, just 1 sec. I got his number. Hold on. Oh, here he is. Guys, hold on 1 second. Oh, he hung up.
Well, that's what happens when you... David S. Goyer. Yeah. God, I can't even put forth any effort.
I wonder what else he did.
A lot of stuff
up earlier.
I think it sounds like he fails upwards.
Guys, fuck!
Hey,
Guys,
I
fuck
just
this
typed
movie.
in- I
Fuck
just
this
typed in
movie.
David Goyer on IMDb, and there is another David Goyer.
Okay.
So he went by David Goyer, then he went by David S. Goyer, which proves your theory that
Germans
love David Hasselhoff.
and that there's another David Goyer in movies, which there is. But guess what the other David Goyer did in movies?
What?
Camera and electrical work.
Yeah, I don't feel that old David S. needed that S. Unless there's some sort of weird union rule or something. Anyhow, let's press on.
His name should be David Goiter.
He's a growth, that's for sure. David Mulligan is the president. That's
sure.
He is. And
I don't know who
Canadian.
that is.
He's Canadian. What? Terry David Mulligan. You didn't. I was gonna say you didn't watch much music in the '80s, but probably not.
I did not.
No.
He made Jumper.
What?
David Goyer. He wrote Jumper.
David S. Goyer?
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, Jumper. There's another good one.
For the list, you mean?
Yeah.
So Terry David Mulligan's the president, he's Canadian, which I thought was kind of funny. And there's a lot of parts when they go to New York where you can tell they're in Vancouver.
There's like a Canucks game on in the background.
Not even that. The BC Lotto Corporation logo is visible several times when they're driving.
This is a side note. I don't know if this is important or not, but it's the same sort of thing with the movie Kick-Ass, which I love.
Yeah.
But you can tell they're driving on Yonge Street because they drive by like a Canadian Future shop, and they're driving by like I don't know, people in like Leafs gear and stuff.
Yeah, and there's a Tim Hortons there. Yep.
There's a sign that says "Welcome to Yonge Street."
My next
Ron
note...
Canada was born in New York City, ironically.
My next note after Terry David Mulligan is the president. Good God, this is the worst.
I
don't
not
mean anything
joking.
was happening particularly on screen. This movie is the worst.
Well, you got to think too. Like looking back at this movie, this was done at a time before comic books were, cool. Comic book movies were cool. So rather than do a movie about a cool hero, they're doing one that really didn't resonate with fans then. So back then, who are the popular heroes? Spider-Man, X-Men, Fantastic Four. No one really cared about Nick Fury.
I have a comic book question for you, Josh.
Yes.
Are the Hydra henchmen supposed to look like albino robots?
No. One of them
Just
looks
thought
like
I'd
Richard
check.
Kind.
What's that?
One of them looks like Richard Kind.
They all look the same.
No, there's this one who's like extra plumpy, and he looks like Richard Kind, the guy from Spin City, but he's like, shaved and albino.
Oh.
They actually make a point of calling Nick Fury a comic book cowboy in this movie as well.
Oh, I thought he said comic book coward.
No.
Okay, because that didn't make any sense to me. I was like, why is he a coward? He's going into a mission.
Drunk. But no, just my point earlier was like, you were into comics, right, Nathan?
Yes, I enjoy comics.
And around 98, was Nick Fury on your radar?
Not at all.
Any kind?
No.
Now it's like if you told a high school student, oh yeah, no, they did a Nick Fury movie back in the 90s, they'd probably be surprised, but they wouldn't be like, what? Nick Fury? Nick Fury, like D-list character Nick Fury. It'd be the shock would be that it wasn't Sam Jackson. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because back, I don't know. It's so weird to me that in 1998 they did a Nick Fury movie.
Don't forget though, at that time, Marvel was just selling off everything.
Yeah, true.
They were just trying to stay afloat. They were selling off like movie and TV rights left, right, and center. This is why X-Men is still with Fox. Mm-hmm. And if Fox had renewed the trademark or whatever or the license on it, he'd probably be still under their banner as well. Mm-hmm. But House of Mouse owns Marvel now, so thankfully they have it and they do.
It's just weird to be that this would have been 4 or 5 years after the Roger Corman Fantastic Four.
But never got released.
It never got released, but I'm wondering why Nick Fury and not try and do the FF again.
Brendan's just exacerbated. Well, it was probably because it would look terrible and cheap, just like the Corman one, because they would have had TV money for it. And that's why they chose Fury, is because there's no superpowers really involved. You know,
Guys,
so you don't have to spend a ton of
there's a
special
scene
effects.
in this movie coming up where
Just jump to it.
there are what?
Jump to it.
There's a scene in this movie coming up
Where the credits roll.
It said directed by, and then music played, and then a bunch of words flashed on the screen.
No, I turned it off before it said directed by. No, there is a scene in this movie coming up here where they encounter a number of lasers, which is helpfully described when Hoff says, "Hey, lasers." And when they started spraying them, to see them, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Spray laser disruptors.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh my god!" If he does an impression of like the Catherine Zeta-Jones sequence from Entrapment, I am literally shutting this off and I'm not watching the rest of it.
Do you know what it felt? And I said this to Jamie, my girlfriend, when we were watching it. I don't know if you guys watched The Office or not.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
There's an episode of The Office, and maybe some of your listeners will understand what I mean, but they find a script written by Michael Scott to Steve Carell's character. Right. They found a screenplay that he wrote, and it was called Threat Level Midnight, starring Michael Scarn. And a couple seasons later, they actually filmed that movie as an episode in The Office. And I said to Jamie, like, I feel like I'm watching Threat Level Midnight. Because, and the joke of The Office was that Steve Carell's character, Michael Scott, he filmed this movie, but like with just props laying around the office, store-bought makeup, it looks really cheap. The acting was super cheesy. Like, it's a joke, right?
Yep.
It's a joke spy movie that the Michael Scott character wrote to be serious. And I'm watching Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I'm like, this is just Threat Level Midnight.
Yep. Like, okay, I'm 100% on board with that. Because they use hairspray to diffuse the lasers.
This movie is so bad that every time Andrea von Strucker was on screen, I said, "Thank God."
Because of something pretty to look at.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. They use some Scooby Doo music when they're sneaking around too, which I.
Damn.
Well, no,
okay,
I wanted to. No, but that was.
We should mention at this point they've split into two teams.
Yes.
Which Val and
super confusing
some
sometimes.
Crew people.
Yeah.
Yeah, Val and like some of her crew are going to see if they can...
whatever the hell you can go with the
ESP-er.
ESP-er. ESP-er, you can go with the limey. I'll take the two hot chicks. Like
But yeah, Val and her people or whatever are going after seeing if they could find the virus in Manhattan because that's where they're going to shoot it at or whatever.
Right, and they're trying to find Van Strucker's brother.
Yeah, and then
Hoff, as well, I guess.
Hoff, Pierce, and ESP are looking for what the fuck are they doing? I forget.
They're trying to find her to stop her from launching because the way their stuff was set up. And I don't know why I remember this intricate detail. The way their stuff was set up is that Van Strucker would send the code, Andrea would send the code to her brother. She would send it from Germany to him in New York. And if it wasn't delayed, like if she was dead or if he was dead, they would launch. And that's why they're trying to stop them both at the same time. It's the only part of the movie that I was able to follow. That's it. Don't ask me any more questions.
Haunting imagery of that missile pointed right at the towers.
Oh, you mean not the matte painting?
No, I mean when they filmed it on location, right by Manhattan.
Well, I mean, to be fair, other than the Statue of Liberty, it was at the time probably the most iconic part of the New York skyline.
Mm.
I mean, you could see the Empire State Building, but there's other buildings that do kind of look like it. There's the Chrysler building or something. They look very similar. But as soon as you saw the Twin Towers, it's New York. You know it's New York.
You know all those all those conspiracy YouTube videos. I wonder if anyone went and grabbed footage from this movie and were like, it was an inside job.
Red flag, false, whatever. Shut up. Watch the camera.
Shield is real, and they were in on it.
Hydra caused 9/11.
Okay, this is getting off the rails.
Guys, I have videotape footage.
Isn't this one of the points where Nick Fury says that he danced on Van Strucker's grave and he's going to dance on his daughter's grave? And all I could think was this movie would have been a better Nick Fury, grave dancer. And he would have had to join a union.
2, starring Nick Fury. And then...
Sorry.
Okay, so...
I was just going to say what you get...
Stop it. Go, Josh.
What?
I was going to say that line, I was like, I danced on your daughter's grave or your son's or whatever. I don't even remember what he said.
I danced on your father's grave, yeah.
Father's grave, which is really kind of a dick thing to say, right?
A little bit.
He's a dick 100% throughout this movie.
But again, brings me back to Threat Level Midnight in The Office, because there's a line, and you're supposed to cringe at it, and there's a line in the fake movie in The Office where he says, I'm going to kill you and then I'm going to hump your dead wife. And it reminded me of it because it's like both are super inappropriate and just kind of come out of nowhere.
Like an RKO. There, I was able to get the reference in. I put forth that much effort. I would have had a wrestling reference in a minute anyways, because when we see Van Strucker's daughter again, she is dressed like Charlotte Flair.
The Viper!
Yeah.
Why? Okay. This podcast, you're just hearing us all dying. Slowly, decomposing.
I have another note. Meanwhile, at the dump.
Why is Val... Now, they're trying to get the weapon to not be... they're trying to get the weapon from Werner or whatever, the brother, right? Werner?
Yeah.
Why would you throw a grenade?
Oh, when he was doing the
when one of the albino robots is playing wall ball.
He's doing the Great Escape thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna this whole podcast has just been us mentioning better movies.
Hey, I'll tell you what else you wrote was The Dark Knight.
The Room, better movie.
I'll tell you who's a better Nick Fury is that Sam Jackson.
Better Nick Fury, Carrot Top.
The DVD art, it says Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., the last superhero. He's not a superhero.
He's not a superhero at all.
Not in this movie.
Not at all. He doesn't have superpowers.
He doesn't have superpowers.
He has an exploding eyeball.
Boring.
Again, that's a gadget.
And he's not even the last. It's like later that year, out came Blade.
Doesn't he fly at some point?
Doesn't he what now?
I don't know. Doesn't he fly at some point? I don't fucking know.
This part of the movie really kind of got me. When Val and Dugan are talking back and forth on the radio. They're talking like, head surgeon, OR is ready, the patient is blah, blah, blah. And then they just throw it out the window and start saying, like, Nick Fury and Von Strucker right over the air. And then they go back to using the codes again.
You mean the script was wildly inconsistent? Friggin' David Goiter. So, okay, and then...
We're getting close, guys. The end is in sight.
This is my favorite. This is actually my favorite line. So, Hoff says... he points to Wolfgang von Strucker and says, "There's your frozen popsicle. Get it? Popsicle? That's the problem with the Third Reich. Not the killing 6 million Jewish people thing. Just no sense of humor.
I had that exact note. Yep, I have that exact note. And
oh my god. Oh, this is where the double comes back into play too.
Well, before this, they kill the doctor who was trying to help Hydra. They just throw him over, and they play it for yucks. Like a dead geriatric is the funniest thing they could do.
And then they hump his dead wife.
Josh, so you must have seen the scene after the credits too, then.
And I want to also point out the other guards, like at Andrea's place, they look like the bad guys from the Night Trap video game. They've got like nylon over their face, so you can't see their face, but it's black nylon, and it reminded me of Night Trap, which is a better game than this movie.
I don't know why, because they don't really look like them, but every time I saw them, I just remembered that Turtles in Time game, and every time I saw them, I just wanted to go like, sewer! Downtown!
Yeah.
Did you know Rollerball took place in 2005?
The strange future world of 2005.
Yes, we have Robo Fury for the win!
Well, that's the problem with the Third Reich.
And we got our final psychic head hug.
Yeah. Oh, because they gotta get the abort codes so that the missile doesn't launch at the two towers.
But this part here, I think they just taped Hoff doing the line once and looped it 3 or 4 times.
Which line's that?
Dig deep. You can do this. Come on. Dig deep. You can do this. Come on.
Look
deep
through the stock footage.
Push harder. Faster, Max.
Yeah. He says it like 4 or 5 times. I was like, can he say it anymore?
Dig deep.
You can do this. And at first when I read that note to myself, I was like, maybe this was me talking to myself, knowing that the movie was almost over. Just dig deep. You can do this. And then I remembered he says it a million times during the psychic head hug.
I'm gonna say it just because we haven't said it enough. This movie sucks.
Oh, it sucks so bad.
Hey,
oh my god.
Where do you rank it with the Captain in the Rye?
Oh, Captain in the Rye is Citizen Kane to this.
The what now?
Captain America. The sound.
Oh, the sound. Okay, yes.
If this movie would have had Nick Fury stealing people's cars, then it would have been a little better.
This movie is...
Could you pull over? I'm going to be sick.
This movie is...
Which is the tagline of this movie.
I will say, this is legitimately, without a doubt, the worst movie we've watched for the podcast. I would rather watch Hollywood Homicide than this movie.
How do you think I feel? This is only the second one I've done. It's like... I felt like I've given half my life.
I wanted to watch Critters so bad after I watched this movie.
My next
I'm gonna go home and watch Troll 2 to put it out of my mind.
My next note is must randomly twist knobs and press buttons to prevent countdown.
Yeah.
So...
9,
okay,
the 6,
so
the 9.
They stop. Okay, so Hoff... This part is... Well, the whole movie's stupid, but this part is absurd.
Absolutely.
Because Hoff has a double, and somehow he got that double like ready and like okay, he didn't have it with him unless he had it in his pocket.
Well, it was ready for travel.
Right. So that it proves my theory that it was in his
Germans
pocket.
love David Hasselhoff.
That also proves that theory. But
here's the thing.
Guys,
I thought this is the part you were going to talk about being utterly dumb and ridiculous. S.H.I.E.L.D. has stormed the compound. They've prevented the missiles from firing. They've stopped everybody, and nobody is watching Andrea von Strucker. They get distracted by a countdown, and she's able to like tip over to her dad's sarcophagus and get away in the slowest getaway ever.
No way, man. She's halfway to China by now.
Ugh.
She's in it for 45 seconds, and Hoff shoots it to open the door, which he could have done at the beginning, and then he says, "Oh, she's halfway to China."
Yeah.
Like, what is she on a rocket ship? Is she in that friggin'
Chinatown, Brendan?
In Germany.
Is she in that thing? Is she on that thing that like Captain America was on when he like went past the White House?
She's just kicking it to redirect it.
Oh, and okay, this actually is the biggest. So the whole double thing is stupid because she shoots Hoff and you think he's dead, but it's just his double. Whatever, fuck you, movie. But the stupidest thing of the whole movie, in my opinion, you guys might disagree, but this has actually really made me mad, is that a good chunk of the movie is spent wondering if he'll find the cure in time because he's dying.
Yep. And
then literally it goes to a commercial break because this was a TV movie, comes back from a commercial, and they're like, all right, you're all good. That's it. You don't see him getting her blood.
Yeah.
You don't see him finding a cure. It's literally he sits up on a table and the doctor's like, Lawrence Fishburne is like, hey, you're all good. And he's like, oh, thanks,
Canada.
Tom. Yeah, Ron Canada.
From New York.
I wonder why does he and his friends just keep calling each other swine?
Because he's an awful man.
Like I get ball busting with your friends. You're like, hey, douchebag or butt face and stuff like that. There's so many other words that they could have used
other than swine.
Hoo-ha.
Hey, actually, a little known fact: that video of Hoff being drunk with cheeseburgers is actually his life model decoy.
It's also a better movie than this movie.
The David Hasselhoff cheeseburger video. The plot of that video is better than this plot.
Infinitely better than this movie.
Less confusing.
Yeah. All the cliches in this, and I mean, even at the end, and this is the creepy closing because you get to see. I don't know if this was set up as like a pilot movie, like they wanted to make a series or something out of it,
sequel
or television show.
Oh,
it's plausible.
No.
I thought they were, if I remember correctly, when I read about it. It was almost like a Columbo type thing. I thought it was going to be like
2 or 3 movies,
5 movies per year on television, or something like that, and that would be the season.
Okay.
Thankfully, it was one.
But they were planning on getting him involved. If I read this correctly, they're planning on getting him involved with like the X-Men, and they were going to make kind of like what they're doing now at the MCU. They were going to do on like Fox TV.
Well, they did back in the 90s. It wasn't X-Men. It was like almost
Generation
like
X.
Yes.
Break it down.
With
wait a second,
with
guys.
Jubilee
Are you telling me there's not a live action X-Men TV show? Is there?
No, it's like X-Men Junior.
Okay.
So it's like Jubilee and a bunch of other.
Think of all the X-Men you hate, and it's
all the X-Men they could have gotten for Deadpool or are gonna get for Deadpool. Those are the X-Men they'll use.
So Hoff reconciles with Val and says, "A dose of dying is what made me realize."
Oh my god, the cliches. Oh.
So many.
There's also a line where she says, there was also a line where she said, I thought you were dead, and he said, I was, but I'm better now.
Incidentally, Casablanca, way better movie than this movie.
Well, I don't know, man.
It loses points for being in black and white.
Casablanca's kind of a hack job. I think Hasselhoff could have played Bogart's role.
So we get our, I guess if it was done now, this would have been like the post-credit scene almost.
Mm-hmm.
Because we see Van Strucker is alive. Not his daughter, but him, the Baron von Strucker, is alive. And they're like caressing each other.
Oh, yeah. is they're
He
walking
humped his
away to
dead
have
wife.
sex. Also, I just have a note here after that. Yeah, I have a final note here that just says the credits are why didn't the rest of the movie go by as fast as these credits?
There, that's it. We're done.
There's another world out there where there's an Avengers movie with Josh Trank's Fantastic Four, or Roger Corman's Fantastic Four, or Ian Grafad's Fantastic Four.
All three.
And they're teaming
Just
with Nick Fury.
12.
They're teaming with Nick Fury. Who else is bad?
Captain America in the Rye.
Matt Salinger, Captain America.
Oh, Dolph Lundgren, Punisher.
And that one Doctor Strange movie that was on TV.
Yeah,
that went head-to-head with Roots.
Yeah, thought it could compete with Roots.
Throw that 70s Spider-Man in there, too.
That guy, too.
Or, Thor.
Wait. The Fantastic Four thing, what I meant by all of them is not to make 12, but to have them all interchangeably switch between scenes.
Just randomly different doctors.
Just
Dr. Reeds.
It's Ian Graffold, and then in the next scene it's like the guy from the Corman one. It's like Miles Teller, and then it's like whoever the fuck else played him.
So, you know what's actually infinitely better than this movie?
Everything?
Well, I was going to say that, but I was also going to say Montrose Monkington TV on YouTube. Feel free to check them out. Or Montrose Monkington III Esquire and Friends on Facebook. Infinitely better than Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.
And I just want to put a little twist on our usual segment that goes here. Take our fucking word for it.
Yeah, absolutely take our word for it. No, I'm not putting forth the effort to look up reviews for this movie. We
were talking earlier about what we enjoyed more. Enjoyed. What was worse, I guess. Captain America or Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. At least Captain America provided some laughs. Unintentional laughs, mind you.
This was just pain.
This was just like I was saying before we went on the air. I was bored. Yeah. I was watching this movie. I was trying to take notes, and no word of a lie, I'd be watching, and my head would tilt, and I would start watching my puppy play.
Oh,
I just
nosebleed.
I just start watching the dog chew his bone, and I'd be staring at the dog chewing on his bone, and then I'd be like,
his monkey bone.
I'd be like, oh yeah, the movie, and then I'd go back and watch and hate myself.
The dog chewing on his bone. Better movie.
Better movie than this.
Oh man, here we go. Andy Warhol's 48-hour movie where you look at the Empire State Building and it doesn't move. Better movie.
Way better movie.
There's anticipation in that one. Something's gonna happen.
And then credits happen.
Yeah. Okay.
So Josh, I want to apologize that you had to suffer through this with us, but now we have war stories to tell between all of us.
We appreciate it.
What's that?
I just said thanks for putting forth the effort. We really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. Thanks for not switching to rollerball in the middle of it.
I started actually looking up notes to rollerball about 10 minutes ago just to see what it says. Rollerball is referred to as sports entertainment throughout the movie, which is what professional wrestling is known as now.
Okay. All right.
What did you
Cool J admitted in a guest appearance on Late Night with Conan O'Brien that the movie sucked, but that it was his duty to promote the film. That'll put some butts in the seats.
So Nathan, why don't you give us a little preview of... I'm dead.
Yeah.
Why don't you give us a little preview of... maybe Josh should?
Does Josh know what our next film is?
I'll give a preview if you tell me what it is.
I'll give a hint.
Somebody text me something else.
Here's a hint. You'll have to Look up my previous Facebook comments on my personal page and be all creepy and Facebook stalkery. But here's the hint for our next, or in our last, listener's choice month selection.
It is.
It's the movie that Josh will be naming his firstborn after. And you'll be disappointed every day with them.
I know what it is.
Josh, you better listen to this episode over and over again.
Yes, Catwoman.
I went into the stats, and it says one person watched this 165 times.
David Hasselhoff. He's calling his friends over. He's
calling
his friends. I told you I was better than Sam Jackson.
Well, Josh, I don't know if you knew this previous story, but we actually had received a tweet from David Arquette, so I was hoping that maybe Hasselhoff would have something to say.
David Arquette, former world champion.
Yes, he tweeted at us.
Yeah, former heavyweight champion of the world.
We were bagging on Ready to Rumble.
You guys are mean.
Essentially, that's what he was going for. Yep. We explained that we didn't blame him at all. We blamed the people who made the movie.
And then we blamed.
And then he said, "Okay, you guys are nice."
Nope. I don't agree. I don't blame him for doing it either.
We should get him in here.
You know, it's a job. You know, and if they're gonna pay you to do it, you do it. So, is that anything else? Is there anything else?
Can we do The Punisher sometime? I've been dying to see The Punisher.
We're gonna watch that Thomas Jane movie someday.
Hey, can we watch Halle Berry Catwoman? I've been dying. No, actually, let's not do that one.
McG.
Halle Berry Catwoman, better movie.
I'm just trying to think of other comic book movies I can invite myself to.
All right, Nathan, do you have a question? Or I know we asked it like five times during the podcast.
Brendan. All the stuff we've discussed here, and is just really one more thing that I've got to ask you. In a movie where they fuck this movie, and in a movie where they absolutely fuck this movie, and they also fuck this movie, and I just one thing I gotta know, what were they thinking